Hello everyone, so this is a psychic reading on Elena Danaan by request. So I actually was doing this around a different psychic, and this person that wants to remain anonymous did a flash reading as well, and something that's interesting that came up was the term galactic warden, and warden basically means a person who is um, putting down rules, regulations. Actually, let me look it up really quick. Warden. A person responsible for the supervision of a particular place or thing, or for ensuring that regulations associated with it are obeyed. Okay, a person responsible for the supervision of a particular place or thing. So that's interesting. So if you know anything about Elena Danaan, she's she says that she connects with aliens and basically gets communications from them. So that's interesting. So, anyways, what I was reading when I read her was I was getting the sense that she's a very spiritual person, um, and very, very receptive to information. It's like she's just an antenna that's just taking in information. I didn't get the sense that she is like outwardly putting energy. She's just like taking it in, and it's like she's kind of operating through that. So it's almost like she's not. It's almost like some part of her doesn't even have her own opinion on some level because she's just so receptive to other information that's coming in to her. I get the sense that she's living through her heart chakra and she's very open to the universe, especially through the heart chakra, and very loving and identifying with everything around her. Um, Synchronicity surrounds her, is what I was getting, that there's a lot of synchronicity, and that she can kind of tune into the truth and use synchronicity as a guide in her life. I get the sense that she's able to tune into secrets and find the truth through this synchronicity. Um, and in her own, she's a little bit in her own world, in the sense that she's in her own spiritual world that's ruled by synchronicity and things of that nature. And so she's kind of disconnected from the programmed culture that we are all programmed into from a very early age. And because she's disconnected from this, she's much more able to connect with other information. She's a very happy person, is what I'm getting, and very honest person. But she can get a little carried away with excitement and speculation on certain things that excite her a little too much, potentially. You know, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. Just that's what I was getting. That she can be very excited and be kind of carried away with her excitement and speculation. Her answers come from spirit, but she is not using her own psychic abilities beyond receiving information from other beings who are. So it's like she's, you know, taking in information from other beings who are able to access this information. So in some sense, she's very psychic because she's receiving this information, but she's not able to kind of interpret the information for herself. Although there is somewhat of a filter that she is, you know, interpreting the information through, but she's not able to, you know, tune into it and get the answers directly from herself in the way that she is getting the information from other beings who are. She may over romanticize certain details, and again, this kind of has to do with the exaggeration and excitement that she may have about these things. So she does claim to have been abducted and traumatized and then rescued by another alien species that she is now in communication with. And in a previous reading, I had tuned in to kind of see like what do I get? Should I believe her? Should I not? And what I got was that she has had trauma in the past, and it does seem to be the type of situation that would match with someone being abducted. So it does seem that there is reason to believe that from what I'm able to tune into. Although it may have been something slightly different, but regardless, it matches the narrative. She is getting information from otherworldly beings, but some of it can be exaggerated through translation. And there's also a slight intention there to make them look good to humanity, these other beings who are communicating with her. And this is to paint a good picture of themselves so that humans see them in a good light. And so you could say this is a little bit like propaganda on some level, but I wouldn't say that it's lies. It's just that it's being shown for a purpose of creating consent, I guess you could say, to their presence. I do get the sense that she wants to write another book, Elena Danaan, that is. She really believes in her cause and has very positive intentions for the world. Some aspects of this will come to pass as far as what she wants to do in the world, but I also get the sense that some of the things that she's very hopeful for and passionate about may not happen in her lifetime, but she is getting the ball rolling, so to speak, in that direction, and she is a very, very powerful soul, actually. So her spirit, or her soul, or you could say both, are involved in changing the planet in a way that goes a little beyond what most people are involved in. And she's just a very, very spiritually strong person, to the point where her spirit kind of overshadows her physical existence on Earth. And so she does a lot of work on a spirit level, kind of outside of her body, that she may not even be aware of in her present life. So some of the things that she wants to happen are, direct connection with aliens and to intermingle and, for everything to be shared with humans. But I get the sense that some of the like the things like she wants, like like alien technology to be released to the public, and I kind of get the sense that this on some level is already happening, even though we don't realize it. But I mean, like, all the advanced technology, I don't see that happening in her lifetime. And I don't see all of the Earth population of humans accepting aliens in her lifetime, but I do get the sense that she's, well, not just her, but the whole planet has made a major shift that will occur and has already started to occur and already has had effect already, where people are much more open to aliens, and they're less demonized, and this is going to continue. Again, aliens mingling with humans seems to be more of a hopeful wish than something that I see happening within her lifetime. I mean, on some level, that already is happening, but what I mean is just like, like you go to New York Square and you just see aliens walking around. Like that I don't see that happening in her lifetime, but it may happen in outer space, is what I'm getting. Um, the Earth will open up more to the idea of that, but I don't see it being accepted, because there's somewhat of a purpose of Earth consciousness, which is like the Earth, the purpose of coming to Earth, you could say, which is actually on some level to break away from that frequency and to kind of separate yourself from other beings. Other frequencies is what I'm trying to get at, not so much the beings, but to be at a certain frequency and to have a certain type of experience here on Earth. And so the Earth, there's still reason for people to have that experience, so I don't see that quite being something that happens quite yet, at least. As far as just like being an international place where humans and everyone just kind of gets along, there's going to be division for a while, is what I'm getting. Part of the goal of that is to learn to exist with less, similar to learning survivalism skills or even camping, and how that's fun. It's like an adventure. And the reason why it's fun, and the whole thing, that what you're doing is you're taking away your luxuries, you're taking away, you're dividing yourself away from other comforts and putting yourself into more of an adventure because of that. So it's kind of the same idea with Earth and the planet from the spiritual perspective, even though once you come into a body, you may have a different opinion and a different experience. So anyways, I get the sense that Elena Danaan's communication with beings is truthful, and there's good information coming from it, but I also got the sense that there could be a little bit, some of the time, not all the time, but some of the time there could be a little bit of muddiness to it, so it may not be 100% clear and as accurate as the public may think, who follow her. This is not to discredit her or anything. This is just me like looking for details here. And I would call this more of a detail than anything else. And there's a little bit of speculation that's thrown into the translation and the receiving of the message. But she's definitely not lying, and she's definitely speaking the truth. Overall, that is. She loves sharing her passion and spreading joy. She's a good person and has blessed the earth with positive change. She puts more importance into her work than herself. I get the sense that she will live a very happy life, but I get that her spirit will choose to leave her body at an early age. In other words, she will pass away by choice of her own spirit, because it has a lot of work to do on the astral. And she does a lot of work on the astral, and her spirit is very powerful on the astral. So yeah, I get the sense that basically she's an honest person, but there may be a few instances where she may be having information come to her and kind of translate it through her own filter before, just like how people see with their eyeballs, but you really see with your brain. And it's the same sort of way, like you may receive a direct message, but like you're not getting the direct message because the message has to go through your brain. It has to be processed by your consciousness before it pops up in your vision for you to even see. So, yeah, that's what I was getting. So take it all with a grain of salt, but I do believe that there is a lot of truth to what she's receiving, and she seems like she's a truthful person. So anyways, I went on a longer video, a longer reading, but I don't want to just talk about aliens the whole time, basically. So I made a separate video, and I will actually have this video where I talk about the aliens themselves that she's connecting with. That video will be on my Patreon page. So if you want to check out my Patreon page, you can watch that video as well. And if not, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. It's always helpful for the algorithms if you leave a comment. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.